Hello all, I'm Sai and you're watching The Book Dragon. In today's video, I'm bringing to you my part 2 in the discussion for Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban by J.K. Rowling. So let's get into today's video. Now, yesterday I stopped with the class in which Hagrid takes care of magical creatures. So the next class which we are going to see is Defense Against the Dark Arts, which was handled by Lupin in the third year. And if you ask me, that was the best part in which people actually learned defense against the dark arts, and it was the most fun of all other. He was the most fun of all other teachers comparatively. And in the first class itself, he teaches the students about boggarts and how boggarts are shapeshifters, how they can take the shape of the thing they fear the most, and how they have to say this incantation ridiculous, which is totally ridiculous, and they have to make the boggart to turn into something that makes people laugh, and that was so good. Next class is Divination, which was taken by Professor Trelawney, and in that class they learn about how to predict the future, how to make prophecies, how to see through people, and how to predict people's deaths, how to predict their futures, how they know what good things are going to happen to them, what bad things are going to happen to them. Sometimes Trelawney seems to be such a genius in handling such stuff, and at totally other times she seems so totally stupid. And Hermione doesn't believe in divination. That's one of the best things which I loved about her in this book, because she just openly admits that she doesn't believe in divination. That is just some make-believe kind of magic. It's not even magic properly, and she just walks out of Trelawney's classroom. That is a huge deviation from the actual character of Hermione, but that thing which she did, it stepped up her character a bit more in the series. Now we'll speak something about Hogsmeade, which is the wizarding religion to which the children are allowed to go and visit during specific weekends. As Harry doesn't have a signed permission letter from his guardians, that is the Dursleys, he is not allowed to go to Hogsmeade, and he spends the first week when his friends go to Hogsmeade in the castle itself. And after that, Fred and George they bring him this map called the Marauders Map, and the Marauders Map has all these secret passageways or pathways to go outside the school, and he chooses this one to go to Honeyduke's, which is a candy store in Hogsmeade. Those are some of the best parts, if you ask me. And there's also this story about this most haunted building in Britain called the Shrieking Shack, which exists just near to Hogsmeade, so that children can go to the most haunted place in Britain and just have fun in there, or they can just stand out there and look at. And this is the place where Malfoy also tries to bully Weasley, that is Ron, and Harry with his invisibility cloak. He just comes there and he traumatizes Malfoy and his friends. And when he goes back, he's caught by Snape, and Snape is not sure that Harry had done it. He is sure, but he doesn't have proof that Harry had done that. And the invisibility cloak just stays there in that tunnel which Harry used to get to Honeyduke's, and it is left there itself, because you can find an invisibility cloak everywhere, right? So he was so not so careful with that. I didn't like that part of Harry in this thing. Also, Trelawney predicts that Harry is going to die this year, and the reason for that is that she sees this death omen called the Grimm in Harry's teacup, and there are multiple other happenings which show the coming out of the Grimm, which is when Harry is there waiting for the night bus. Sirius comes, he is in the form of a dog, and a Grimm is a dog. Apart from that, Harry also sees a Grimm-shaped cloud while he's playing Quidditch, and that's the time when he falls down and the Dementors try and torment him. And those scenes were very well done in the movie as well as in the book. They conveyed the story and the feel of the story very soulfully to the reader as well as the viewer. And apart from that, when the Grimm actually comes, while they are in the Shrieking Shack, while they go and try to save Buckbeak yet fail and go to the Shrieking Shack, Scabbers tries to run away from Ron. That's how they end up in the Shrieking Shack. And then comes Sirius in the form of a dog, and he drags Ron into the Shrieking Shack, that is through the Whomping Willow into the Shrieking Shack. And then Harry and Hermione follow him and go inside there. Crookshanks was a very intelligent cat. he was not at all done justice in the movies, just like Ginny. And I missed that part of Crookshanks in the movie. It was very well done by Rowling in the books. And they go in there, and all these revelations happen. The Shaking Shack comes Lupin, Snape, everyone, and Scabbers gets transformed into Pettigrew, and they all say how Sirius was not actually the real killer, but Peter Pettigrew was, and he transformed himself into a rat, cut his single finger, and just escaped from the place. Those were so good scenes to read as well as to watch. That built the backstory for the story that is happening in the present in the book in a very proper way, if you ask me. She has thought all these things through. She has included the cat and rat also as characters very specifically in order to prove these, and the friendship between Sirius and Crookshanks, who's the cat. Those were explained in the book. They were not at all touched even a little bit in the movies. And how Lupin finds out that Sirius is out and he's not actually the killer. Peter Pettigrew is not dead because he appears in the Marauders Map. All these things were masterfully done by Rowling, if you ask me, and I enjoyed each and every moment I read all those stories. Even after all these things, the most exciting part about the third book is the time turner, that is time travel that has been incorporated into a fantasy series. Using the time turner, Harry and Hermione go back in time, they save Buckbeak, they save Sirius, they make Sirius escape using Buckbeak. They save Sirius as well as Buckbeak in a single go, and for all this there is a single person responsible, who's the great Dumbledore, who's my most favorite character of all the entire series. And even after that, there was something which was very properly done by Rowling. It's not that in order to save the day, all the three people in the trio go and do things. In this particular book, Ron didn't have a part while traveling in time. He didn't travel in time along with Ron and Harry and Hermione because his leg was broken. I liked that touch to the story. It's not possible for the three of them to save the day all the time. There must be some luck always, and obviously we knew that it was Ron because he was not given that much importance in the trio. Talking about this book, I'd like to end with this note, which is the most magical thing about this book, which is the Patronus charm, which Rowling uses, and she has depicted Dementors as these creatures which which manifest depression and stress for people, and how it can be overcome only by happy thoughts. If you try and think of happy things, definitely those sad thoughts and depression will move out from your mind, and that's how the spell also works. While uttering Expecto Patronum, one must think of happiness. Just by using magic, nothing can be achieved. That was very well done by Rowling, if you ask me, in this one. And she used happiness as the fuel in order to create the Patronus, which will drive away the depression that is Dementors. That was such a good step, if you ask me. And the Patronus was one of the main reasons I watched the movie as well as read the book, because every time a Patronus comes in the book, it is so magical, and it made me want to eat the pages. It was it added such a good tone to the entire story. That's all for today. We have to wait for another month in order to discuss another book of Harry Potter, which is the book 4 that we'll be reading in May. And if you did enjoy watching this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also share it to your friends. If you want to get more content from me, do subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.